access to every channel you could ever want, including HBO, Cinemax, and Starz. And the best part? There are no contracts, no hidden fees, and you're free to cancel anytime. With Q Broadcast, you can enjoy streaming live TV, movies, and top series on up to 5 devices at once. Whether you're at home or on the go, Q Broadcast makes sure your entertainment is always at your fingertips. Imagine being able to watch all your favorite channels from anywhere, anytime, without any restrictions. We're talking about thousands of movies, hundreds of TV series, and a huge library of live channels, all in one place. And don't forget video on demand and pay-per-view events. Those are included at no extra cost, so you'll never miss a big event again. Now, take a second and think about your current cable bill. You're probably paying anywhere between $100 and $300 every month, locked into long-term contracts and hit with surprise rate increases. With Q Broadcast, that's a thing of the past. It's just $60 a month. No contracts, no extra fees, no hidden costs, and no price hikes. Why juggle multiple subscriptions like Netflix, Hulu, and cable when Q Broadcast gives you everything you need in one convenient package? People everywhere are switching to Q Broadcast, saving money and getting more content than ever before. So, what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description and sign up for Q Broadcast today. Just $60 a month, no contracts, no hidden fees. It's time to take control of your entertainment and start streaming smarter.
We live in a world where men are told it's harmless. It's just entertainment. But let's stop lying to ourselves. Pornography destroys. It weakens your spirit. It dulls your drive. And it robs you of what real intimacy is supposed to be. Every click is a step away from the man you're supposed to be. We can't call ourselves leaders if we are slaves to a screen.
As someone that is prior service, I know all about discipline. And discipline isn't out there, it's within your mind. Porn rewires your brain, weakens your will, wrecks all of your relationships. It doesn't just stay on a screen, it invades your marriage, your confidence, and your actual purpose. As men, if we don't learn to discipline ourselves, we'll be ruled by our impulses. Now, it is time to stand up and take control before this silent war takes more than you're willing to lose.
Real men don't hide in the shadows of shame. We step up and we protect what's ours. We fight for our wives and kids, our own hearts. Twitter isn't just an app, it's a weapon. It's a tool used to break free and start living like the man that you're meant to be. The battle's here and it starts with you. You can stop living in shame and you can break free today.
Of Q Broadcast, it's taking the world by storm. People are cutting the cord to their high cable bills and moving away from streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, and others for something better. Q Broadcast. For just $60 a month, you'll get access to every channel you could ever want, including HBO, Cinemax, and Starz. And the best part? There are no contracts, no hidden fees, and you're free to cancel anytime. With Q Broadcast, you can enjoy streaming live TV, movies, and top series on up to 5 devices at once. Whether you're at home or on the go, Q Broadcast makes sure your entertainment is always at your fingertips. Imagine being able to watch all your favorite channels from anywhere, anytime, without any restrictions. We're talking about thousands of movies, hundreds of TV series, and a huge library of live channels, all in one place. And don't forget video on demand and pay-per-view events. Those are included at no extra cost, so you'll never miss a big event again. Now, take a second and think about your current cable bill. You're probably paying anywhere between $100 and $300 every month, locked into long-term contracts and hit with surprise rate increases. With Q Broadcast, that's a thing of the past. It's just $60 a month. No contracts, no extra fees, no hidden costs, and no price hikes. Why juggle multiple subscriptions like Netflix, Hulu, and cable when Q Broadcast gives you everything you need in one convenient package? People everywhere are switching to Q Broadcast, saving money and getting more content than ever before. So, what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description and sign up for Q Broadcast today. Just $60 a month, no contracts, no hidden fees. It's time to take control of your entertainment and start streaming smarter.
We live in a world where men are told it's harmless. It's just entertainment. But let's stop lying to ourselves. Pornography destroys. It weakens your spirit. It dulls your drive. And it robs you of what real intimacy is supposed to be. Every click is a step away from the man you're supposed to be. We can't call ourselves leaders if we are slaves to a screen.
As someone that is prior service, I know all about discipline. And discipline isn't out there, it's within your mind. Porn rewires your brain, weakens your will, wrecks all of your relationships. It doesn't just stay on a screen, it invades your marriage, your confidence, and your actual purpose. As men, if we don't learn to discipline ourselves, we'll be ruled by our impulses. Now, it is time to stand up and take control before this silent war takes more than you're willing to lose.
Real men don't hide in the shadows of shame. We step up and we protect what's ours. We fight for our wives and kids, our own hearts. Twitter isn't just an app, it's a weapon. It's a tool used to break free and start living like the man that you're meant to be. The battle's here and it starts with you. You can stop living in shame and you can break free today.
Of Q Broadcast, it's taking the world by storm. People are cutting the cord to their high cable bills and moving away from streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, and others for something better. Q Broadcast. For just $60 a month, you'll get access to every channel you could ever want, including HBO, Cinemax, and Stars. And the best part, there are no contracts, no hidden fees, and you're free to cancel anytime. With Q Broadcast, you can enjoy streaming live TV, movies, and top series on up to 5 devices at once. Whether you're at home or on the go, Q Broadcast makes sure your entertainment is always at your fingertips. Imagine being able to watch all your favorite channels from anywhere, anytime, without any restrictions. We're talking about thousands of movies, hundreds of TV series, and a huge library of live channels, all in one place. And don't forget video on demand and pay-per-view events. Those are included at no extra cost, so you'll never miss a big event again. Now, take a second and think about your current cable bill. You're probably paying anywhere between $100 and $300 every month, locked into long-term contracts and hit with surprise rate increases. With Q Broadcast, that's a thing of the past. It's just $60 a month. No contracts, no extra fees, no hidden costs, and no price hikes. Why juggle multiple subscriptions like Netflix, Hulu, and cable when Q Broadcast gives you everything you need in one convenient...
Here at the Anomic Age, we know that these times of uncertainty are stressful. It is incumbent upon all of us to put our fears first and bow down to government tyranny. Gone are the days of freely leaving your home, working, and social interactions. In exchange for safety, we will trade liberty. At the Anomic Age, we understand. However, just in case you want to get off your knees and stop being a sniveling coward, check out the John Age Project at anomicage.com.
Meet Ann Morrissey, who is here with her daughter, Dareth. Dareth is 17 years old. Mrs. Morrissey, I don't have to tell you that most parents would be extremely depressed if their daughter came home one day looking like this. I assume that was your response shock, anger, depression? What was it?
I was extremely angry. I really went bananas.
Yeah, how old was she when this happened?
Possibly 13, 14 years old.
We're talking like it's a disease, and
Well,
yeah. How did she explain it to you, Mrs. Morrison?
there was very poor communication until we went into counseling. And it almost broke up our family. But through counseling and Serena, I can understand it better.
What do you understand?
That she feels like she doesn't want to be like everyone else, and she wants to be her own person. And through the dress code and her lifestyle, she's expressing this. It doesn't conform with our rules, but we're learning to cope, and it's a very, very difficult thing. Extremely difficult.
Dareth, let's let you talk for yourself. You're from Long Beach, California.
I just can't handle being like everybody else because that's what everybody else wants, you know. Just because somebody else does something does not mean that I have to do it. You know, I have my own morals and ideals, and I go by them.
Are you drug-free, Dareth?
Yes, I am.
Is this a political statement, then? Do you have some misgiving about the society that you see?
Yeah, there's a lot of problems, you know. A lot of the people are really aware of what's going on, you know, and I don't like it, you know. There's a lot of problems.
What?
I don't like the way society is based.
What bothers you? Give us some of the misgivings you have.
The rich, the poor, the people starving, the wars, you know. Why can't, you know, everybody just get along and just live their life?
Here at the Anomic Age, we know that these times of uncertainty are stressful. It is incumbent upon all of us to put our fears first and bow down to government tyranny. Gone are the days of freely leaving your home, working, and social interactions. In exchange for safety, we will trade liberty. At the Anomic Age, we understand. However, just in case you want to get off your knees and stop being a sniveling coward, check out the John Age Project at anomicage.com.
Meet Ann Morrissey, who is here with her daughter, Dareth. Dareth is 17 years old. Mrs. Morrissey, I don't have to tell you that most parents would be extremely depressed if their daughter came home one day looking like this. I assume that was your response shock, anger, depression? What was it?
I was extremely angry. I really went bananas.
Yeah, how old was she when this happened?
Possibly 13, 14 years old.
We're talking like it's a disease, and
Well,
yeah. How did she explain it to you, Mrs. Morrison?
there was very poor communication.
Someone real with Chevy.
Propagating truth in a world of lies. You are listening to the John Age Project.
Trust no one. Trust no one. Trust no one.
You found it. You found it. You're here. You're headlong down the runaway train that is the Anomic Age. And I am your host, John Age, hitting you up here at the darn near midnight hour. I'll be taking you into the dark side of the AM this evening, hailing proudly, sort of, from the coastal plains of the old North States. I'll be your tour guide as we take a somewhat satirical journey down the path of murder, destruction, mayhem, and the extermination of human life on this planet. A forced march into obsolescence thrust upon us by a global Luciferian death cult of pedophiles. Check out anomicage.com. If you've not already done so, that's better. I knew I had the wrong one there. If you've not already done so, please like all the likes, subscribe to all the subscriptions, paypal.me/anomicage, patreon.com/anomicage as well. If you missed it earlier this week, I had a lovely conversation with none other than Dr. Bill Burns. Got into the UFO situation, got into those weird meteors, also got into a little bit into the missing scientists as well. So in case you missed that, we had a great conversation with that man. Please check it out at anomicage.com. iPhone app, Android app, it's all there. And you can just take me with you on the go if that's what you decide to do. Woo. So consider doing that. Check out anomicage.com. You can get all that and so much more. And you can see, I think this is my third interview with Dr. Bill Burns. So please check that out if you are so inclined. If you are so inclined, that'd be helpful. So anyway, what else? Let me see. I don't know if this is going to work. Yes. What the heck? What do you know? Oh my goodness. When things work, it's just scary around here. It's scary, baby. Scary. That's it. That's the lovely anomicage.com. You can get the free newsletter, the free Android app, the free iPhone app. Subscribe by email link. We got the Cash App link. It's all there. It's all there, folks, at anomicage.com. So please consider doing that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, humans of all ages, those of you who still identify as human. Got a great show this evening. It's just me. I love just talking to you. So we'll continue our bi-weekly conversation. So shout out to all those cats in the Patriot Prayer Network world and all those people that are just, the old school cats from the regular anomicage.com and the YouTube channel, which is back up sort of. So the YouTube channel is still up there. Anyway, so all that and so much more we'll get into tonight. We're up to information breakdown segment 526. What we'll get into this evening is this: America fatigue. Yes, you've heard of black fatigue, Jew fatigue, and maybe even you fatigue. But right now, well, in a minute anyway, we'll get into the granddaddy of them all, America fatigue. So we'll get into that in a little bit, man. I'm going to cover the news for a second first. And after you've heard this smattering of dung that is the news, ? Here in the United States, I think then you'll have a very nice and easy understanding of why indeed I would say most people at this juncture have America fatigue. So we'll get into that in a minute. So let's do that. We'll talk about the news for a second. And it's gotten so absurd, I don't even want to cover the news, hardly ever, because it's just a pile of garbage, folks. It's all garbage. I can't even believe people buy into this garbage. But, some of it is evident and relevant, and some of it is just, I don't know what you want to say, a desiccant? Maybe that's a better way. Hey, I like that. A desiccant. All right, let's get into it, shall we? Bling. Here we go. This is the talk de jour a couple of days ago. I can't believe. Well, I can't really. We'll get into it. This is from The Guardian. Man charged with attempting to assassinate Trump to remain in custody. Cole Thomas Allen, 31 years old. He tried to break up the old the White House Correspondents' Dinner a couple of nights ago. He tried to break that up by running through there, and I don't know, shooting up the joint. He had his junior Punisher assassin's kit or some BS on. He had knives, he had guns, he had the whole 9 yards. But he ran through I mean, what looked to be like the lamest checkpoint you've ever seen. I mean, I've seen better checkpoints at the club than what we saw at the correspondence dinner. So that was downright hysterical. And I mean, it was so ridiculous on so many levels, really, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I don't know. I mean, we got to run through the highlight reel, which is more like the low light reel of this B to the S, because it's just downright ridiculous. So we had Levitt out there before this whole thing popped off, pun intended, saying there was going to be shots fired, and everybody hee-hawed and knee-slapped and went, oh, this is so funny. And then, alas, I guess we did have some shots fired. It's just retarded. So this guy tried to run through the checkpoint, and I don't know what's more laughable, the checkpoint or the fact that he got that close and nobody, let me choose my words carefully. Nobody stopped the threat with armaments. Nobody actually shot this clown. I guess he was tackled to the ground, but nobody shot this clown. I mean, it's just downright hilarious, folks. It's like a Bozo and Cookie, from the Bozo show, a la 80s version from WGN. You had Bozo and Cookie and Cuddly Dudley and Wizzo and the whole 9 yards. That seemed to be what you had at this correspondence dinner. It was hysterical. So this guy ran through the checkpoint and nobody could cap this dude. He was like flipping Keanu Reeves, I guess. But then you had to look at who was actually guarding El Presidente otra vez. Who was guarding this clown again? Well, it was the DEI, Keystone Cops again, folks. It was downright just ludicrous. It was the obese homosexual female. I'm going to keep my language as clean as possible. I've made a promise to myself that I haven't, started cursing on the show, and I won't do that, but I'm going to keep the show even more PG than it already is, because that's the way I'm going to flow here. But yeah, man, you had these obese homosexual females. Clearly, that's what was up. And they were the ones guarding the president again. It's just insane, folks. It's insane. But the more you look at this, the more you, I hope, realize that this whole thing was as contrived as the previous, folks. I mean, I don't think we're going to see the DJT MAGA Forever clowns with a bandage taped on their ear this time. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think so, because there was no alleged earshot this time. I don't know. Maybe we'll see something equally stupid. I hope so, because that was just the best. So you had Levitt up there saying, it's going to be some shots fired. And then you had this clown. What was this clown's name again? Cole Thomas Allen ran through the checkpoint like, Usain Bolting through the checkpoints, only to get tackled at the 1 yard line prior to him actually doing anything nefarious, I guess. He's still in custody, I guess, allegedly. That's what they're saying anyway. Yeah, whatever happened to the guy that took the shot on the roof? Not the Charlie Kirk guy that took the shot on the roof, allegedly, but the other guy. There's so many of these guys. It's just stupid, folks. It's so stupid. So the rundown on this clown. Let's get it, folks. Old Cole there, Cole Thomas Allen, A-L-L-E-N, Allen. Yeah, he was a teacher. Oh, boy. He was a teacher. And he was also in some sort of lovely NASA program. Oh, goody. But wait, it gets more stupid, because you got to roll through the whole thing. Look at this. And allegedly, you can't believe anything anymore. So is this AI? Is this legit? Is it Photoshopped? Who the flip knows? But allegedly, old CTA, Cole Thomas Allen, he had himself a IDF shirt on. Imagine my surprise. He's repping, allegedly at least, an IDF shirt. In, of course, some previous pictures, Yeah, he was a California cat. He was, did the whole 9 yards. Yeah. So, I mean, this wasn't, at least by the numbers, this wasn't an unintelligent person. Of course, we all know, we all know what was the great song by All, An Educated Idiot. He must be an educated idiot. But then again, you got to say the same thing about, everybody on both sides of the aisle and every position of power. Downright hysterical, folks. So he's repping his IDF shirt, coincidentally, of course. And, the whole flipping thing is just so dumb. I wish I'd have saved this picture. I made fun of it on my social media when this whole thing popped off because it was so ludicrous. Let me just give you the rundown of how stupid this whole thing was. You had the usual suspect, just trash. Like I always say, trash being trash. You had the usual suspect trash, like stealing bottles of wine and out there guzzling the booze, like the usual bottom feeder trash that they are, just addicted filth. Whether it's drugs, booze, same old filth. So, it doesn't matter to me. It's just kind of hilarious. It's like the inescapable trash being trash, which will play into the thesis of this show, America Fatigue, towards the end. So you had trash being trash, just guzzling booze and stealing bottles. And I guess they thought they were in like a rap video or something. Maybe they thought Diddy was going to show up and rub some lotion on them. Anyway, yeah, these were just like ferret creatures that I don't think Diddy'd be into, but you never can tell. Anyway, so you had that mess going on. You had some other, man, I wish I would have chosen a different night to try to take this show in a nicer direction. Man, you had another female influencer, obviously, a female influencer that thought during all of this horse patoot that she was the main character. She was like doing a selfie video of the whole thing. Like, meanwhile, like all around her, the news is going on, but she's like selfie video herself talking about what's going on. It's like the derangement and the disconnection from reality that has been created by this complete feces pile that is America, where everyone thinks they're a main character and everyone believes that, as inconsequential as they might be, they can just jump on the social media and lambaste you with lovely information when it's the most moronic stuff in the world. But I guess she's way cooler than me because she was an influencer at this dinner. Truth be told, I would never go to this for any reason, but besides the point. And then there was some other girl, man, I swear, man, I chose a bad night to be on my best behavior. There was another female that had man, how did I put it in my social media post? She had her assets out. And again, she was like selfie videos of herself with her, out. And again, it was like, what the flip is going on here? Like, the whole thing's hysterical. You've got these obese female homosexuals out there just looking like a PAT convention. You've got these trollops out there doing their thing, thinking that it's somehow, shake my little tush on the dance floor. Some right said Fred. They thought they were playing that, I guess. Thankfully, it wasn't these gay dudes shaking it, but good grief. It was just hysterically bad. And we were all supposed to believe this was legitimate. That's the fool of it all. So the fool, or the fool that follows the fool. In this case, it's a humiliation ritual for the masses, otra vez, so we can all just bask in the stupidity of how fouled up from the floor up America actually is, and will contribute greatly to the America fatigue. That if you don't already have it, I don't know why you don't already have it. Maybe, I do know why. I'll address that in a minute. Don't worry. We'll get into it. We'll get into the whole 9 yards. We got plenty of time. My gracious, we only talked for 16 minutes. Okay, so you had all that going on, and the average boob was like, "Oh boy, oh my goodness, Trump's been an assassination attempt again. Oh my gosh, there was a person of color, and they ran through the tape." Like, oh gosh, it's so hard to believe that people believe this mess. My God, it's just nauseating, isn't it? It's got to be nauseating to you because it's darn near retching to me. Oh my gosh, that's so sick. All right, what else we got? Let's put this one on the screen too. We got to talk the ballroom. And this whole thing was so hilarious, as fake, fraudulent, and just downright laughably lame as this whole alleged assassination attempt was. Do you feel lucky? I guess the guy did. He ran through the tape with weapons, taped and stuff. Anyway, this was all a ruse because immediately after this bull jive, DJT goes into the ballroom pitch again. The ballroom. Let's all get in the ballroom. This is a great punk band. I guess they were a new wave band. I'd say more punk than new wave. I hate the new wave tag. But anyway, the Rosillos. And they covered the Ballroom Blitz song quite aptly, I must say. And it did turn into a ballroom blitz, didn't it, folks? It turned into a ballroom blitz. And it was just pathetic. But immediately, DJT pivots into the ballroom pitch. This is why we need a ballroom. This is why, some half-bleeped Vito Corleone there pitching the ballroom again. This is why we need a ballroom, so we can do this in the ballroom. We all realize, understand, and appreciate if we just do a little bit of investigation in the ballroom. That it's not really a ballroom. It's really for the feds. It's for the military-industrial complex, you dolts. He even talked about it. It's going to be 3-4 floors down. It's going to be, armor-piercing proof and the bulletproof glass. And, I'm doing the Floyd voice from freaking Andy Griffith Show because that's the kind of lunacy that is baked into every bated breath from DJT as he tries to get people to buy into the ballroom. It's going to be great. And I guess if you don't buy into the ballroom, you're low IQ. Is that it, DJT? You're low IQ. That's the new word. I guess that's the new word that's even cooler than crash out. And the new word that's even cooler than slop. And I love the cool new words. And I try to use them so it says to appear as awesome as the influencers. Anyway, so on the screen, you see what I see. Republicans' eye picking up $400 million tab for Trump's ballroom as some Dems open to discuss idea. Call me crazy. I thought this whole thing was paid for by donors. Wasn't it by the donors? That's what we heard, wasn't it? Don't worry, you're not going to have to pay a dime. It's all going to be paid for by the donors. Don't be low IQ. I mean, this is so stupid. So, I thought it was just going to be donor paid for. Now, alas, are we going to pick this up with the taxpayer money? Good nightmares. Senator Lindsey Graham, Republican from South Carolina. I love it when there's another state dumber than North Carolina. It's rare. Lindsey Graham, Republican from South Carolina. Katie Britt, Republican from Alaska. And Eric Schmidt, Republican from Montana. Plan to introduce legislation that would unlock $400 million for the administration to construct the ballroom. Again, I thought this was going to be paid for by the donors. What a lie. Imagine that. Another lie. Mentiroso. DJT, el presidente es un mentiroso. Yep, it appears to be just more lies. Anyway. So, to me, this was just a big ploy for more ballroom propaganda. And I guess everybody fell for it except for the people that are wide awake and know this to be just a bunch of bull jive. I don't know. I guess we shall see. But wait, there's more. So if you haven't seen this on your social media, I don't know about you, but mine's been a buzz. with this bull butter for the last couple of days. GOP lawmakers want FISA amendment amid kill switch car surveillance fears. Yeah. Kill switch car surveillance fears. Yeah, that's the deal, folks. Did you miss this? Yeah. By 2027, we're finna have some car surveillance that you might not want. So if you buy, I guess, a car, that's made after 2027, it's going to have surveillance in there. Oh, boy. It's going to have a kill switch in there. Oh, goody. So you're going to just be driving along, la-li-la, truck tire. No, that's not going to be a truck tire. It's going to be your car, snap, crackle, pop, and cutting your butt off on the real. It's going to cut your car off, especially if you've said something demeaning about, right? You can't disparage, demean, or otherwise talk naughty about you know who. Costa Rica? No. Chile? No. Bangladesh? No. You know who. Don't make me say it. Rhymes with who, but you know what it is. It might be the... Yep. You know what I mean? So if you're talking naughty about this, you finna get your car cut off, man. It's gonna be curtains for you. It's gonna be curtains. No más conduciendo el coche. No more driving the car for you. But it gets even more insane because they've also rolled this whole thing out where they'll be able to surveil you in el coche. Your car will be watching you, baby. Yeah, it's like that old Police song. They'll be watching you. Mm-hmm. It's like that other song, you never know when somebody's watching you. Yeah, remember that one? They had a little Michael Jackson sample in there? Yeah. They're going to be watching you. And they're going to be looking at your lips too. So if you happen to be speaking a disparaging remark, don't worry, it's going to get taken into those threat fusion centers from Barry Soetoro, and they're going to keep it on file, on disk, on DAT. And if they catch you doing too much of that, they're going to have to cut the car off, and you're just going to walk home, I guess. You're going to walk home, or the Soylent Green bus is going to come pick you up, and they're going to take you away to the Soylent Green factory. Or, they'll whisk you away. They'll Ministry of Truth you. What they're going to do. So that's something good to look forward to, isn't it? Oh, not only that, they're going to be reading your lips. They're going to database the whole 9 yards. Anything you say can and will be used against you in your car. But it gets even better because they're also going to be able to give you a ticket. See, the drones in the sky, that lovely Palantir tech from our lovely friends from Vance and from DJ T. And from that other boob, that gay dude that's rocking Palantir, he's in it too. So if you're driving a little too fast on the highway, remember that Ludacris song, "Stay the bleep out of my way"? I don't think so. Not anymore. Not anymore, Luda. You ain't going to be going down the highway anymore like that because they're going to cut your car off and they're going to give you one of them virtual tickets. You don't even know if you got one yet. I don't know how this works. You could pick up like 10 or 12 tickets in a span of a flipping car ride. And then you don't even get the boot. You just get your car cut off. You got to walk home. And then they're going to put you in chains and shackle you up like a good slave and take you downtown. And it's not even going to be the McGruff the crime dog. Remember that? The flipping pedophile dude that was actually the voice of McGruff the crime dog. What a bunch of crap, man. It ain't even going to be that pedophile McGruff taking you downtown. It's going to be the AI robots and some of them freaky dogs look like Ravage from Transformers, and Laserbeak's going to be in the sky. He's going to be clocking you too. If you step out, man, you're just going to get jacked up. That's what's going to happen. So we got this to look forward to, but wait, there's more that's about to rear end you, man. It's going to be like one of them Shaft, and Finagler commercials. Accidents don't just happen. They are the result of someone else's negligence. In this instance, it's the negligence lackadaisical behavior and otherwise just repugnant behavior of the American people. Being a bunch of slugs on a turd out there. That's what's up with the American people, hence the America fatigue. So one more, we're going to go full frontal into the America fatigue. Here we go. Last one. Clickety click, old St. Nick. What do we got here, folks? We got some more shaft. Walmart customers angered over AI-driven digital price label rollout. Yeah, now you're picking up on that Luda reference a minute ago. Rollout. And price changes. Yeah. This is going to be awesome, folks. This is going to be swift, sweet, and deadly. So if you haven't picked up on this, I haven't, because I detest Walmart with every fiber of my being. Because anytime I go there, I'm immediately reminded of my America fatigue. My America fatigue starts kicking in. I start getting angry, start getting ticked off. I just want to, Anyway, so if you do happen to go to the Walmart, the big blue box with a little yellow trim on the side, you might want to check this out, because everything that they rolled out in China is coming for you. That's true, folks. And this is nothing new. This is everything that we already put in place in China, folks. We already did this. Remember the Dragonfly program in China? The social credit score in China? The two-child policy, that was us too in China, all the way back to old man Bush, baby. Yeah, it's all us. So when you all think, that's not going to happen here, we funded it over there to test it out, to bring it over here. Here. Aquí, los estudiantes. Aquí. It's all here, folks. So, when we did that in China with Google, the Dragonfly program, what was that, like 10, 15 years ago now? Anyway, it was all to roll it out here. So what we're going to have, in case you missed it, the AI-driven digital price label rollout. Yeah. So what that's going to mean to you, in case you ain't privy to this information, when you're rolling up into Walmart and you said all your prayers before you go in the door because you're thinking about committing a felony before you even get in the door, and you take a deep breath and you make it through, and you start to look at some produce, maybe you're going to get some eggs, and you'll notice soon they're no longer going to have the Jell-O pudding with the paper label anymore. They're not going to have the paper label anymore, folks. No. Right now, they're doing this slowly, incrementally, just like those lovely, what do they call them? The crabs, lobsters, langostas in the boiling pot. They're not going to jump out because it's going to be an incremental rollout. And that's what it's going to be. So you might see some paper right now, and you might just see a little bit of these AI-driven digital price labels. So it's going to look like a little digital screen. And if you look real close, you're going to see a little circle dotty dot in the corner. And that's going to be for you. Oh, yeah. Yeah. See, that's going to be able to scan your body. And it's going to scan in all your biometric data. Oh, yeah. And it's going to be able to say, oh, look at here. And that's you. Here's your biometric data. We've already compiled that, cogitated with that, and marinated with that in our threat fusion centers. And now we know that you are a thought criminal. You're thinking bad stuff about you know who. And that ain't going to fly, because we have now put that into the database, and we have concluded that you are no longer going to be able to buy or sell, folks. So it's going to run in conjunction with the Palantir. It's going to run in conjunction with the Threat Fusion Center. It's going to run in conjunction with your biometric data. And they're going to say, nay, no food for you. Or they might say, hey, this guy's a mild thought criminal. We're just going to jack the price up. Instead of $8, $9 eggs, he's going to pay $20 for the eggs. Oh, yeah, no EBT card, no special coupons, nothing but the, how'd they say it in Clockwork Orange? The old in-out. That's what it's going to be all about, folks. It's going to be a little bit of the old in out for you, thought criminal. You're going down. And this is after you probably already had to walk to Walmart because they locked your car up. They caught you going fast on the highway. They thought you were doing some thought criminaling on the road, and they just locked it up. You had to walk your butt to Walmart. You thought you were going to skate by, get in there, get some milk, eggs, and cookies, maybe some GMO cookies so you can die a swift and painful death. Nah, not today, folks. Not today. Silent Green is people, and those people are you. All right, we got to talk some other stuff, man. We've talked about this ad nauseum. But we got so much more to get into. Oh, yes, we really do. Let's see. So the real thrust, the crux, the keystone and cornerstone of the matter this evening is just this. Let's put it on the main screen, baby. America fatigue. Artwork courtesy of yours truly. It's America fatigue, baby. See, over the past 6 months or so, we have indeed had black fatigue and greatest ally fatigue. Did you miss this? They're taking the juice box. The juice box icon is getting removed. It's probably already removed. I don't even use that job. But if you use the juice box icon to reference anybody, well, you're going to get your car shut down. You're going to not be able to buy or sell, and you're going to not be able to even use that icon anymore. They're taking that away from you, too. It's no longer just special words that you can't say. Only certain people can say this word. Nobody else can say this word. Now you can't even use flipping icons on your phone, folks. You can't even use the icons on your phone. And you think you don't have America fatigue. This is how bleeped up this country is. This country is so bleeped up. You got alleged freedom of speech. Alleged freedom of speech, except you can't say certain words. And now you got so much freedom of speech, you can't even use an icon for words. You can't even use a picture. It's like if you got kids and you like try to abbreviate words and, you know, you can't even do that anymore, man. If you start trying to abbreviate them words, it's going to be like laser beat going to swoop out the sky and pull you into a cave or something. Ravage is going to run you down, and then the Silent Green truck's going to pick you up. It's crazy. So, yeah, you're going to have some America fatigue on this one. You should, anyway. You should have America fatigue. People don't, and I can understand and appreciate somebody out there right now is listening to this, and maybe they're a boomer. Maybe they're just so drunk on the Kool-Aid, baby. It's the red Kool-Aid, too. It's like the Kool-Aid man jumped through your wall and said, oh, yeah. And he got you so drunk on the Kool-Aid, you just can't even think straight because you are indeed a cult member. So it's one of those camps. There's like the cult members that are about to freak out. And then there's, I guess, the boomers that are probably freaking out because I am daring to disparage America. And for real, understand and appreciate this. I'm not limiting this to the government because somebody's going, well, you can disagree with the government, but not the country, not the nation. Folks, people, gentes, por favor, escúchame. Listen, it ain't just the government that's bleeped up, folks. It's not just the government. It's the people. It's the people. I mean, I had to laugh a couple times this week on social media. I never respond to anybody because it's just, who cares? But it's so funny just trying to analyze the way people think and trying to analyze like the stupid things that they think juxtaposed to like things that are just posted on the media. You know? And I've definitely made fun of the formerly great state of North Carolina ad nauseum. Rightfully so. I mean, North Carolina is California East. I mean, people can say, well, it's New York and Philadelphia. Okay, yeah. Perhaps. They're like into the full-on despotism of the communism. But I would swear to you that North Carolina is California East. Unreal. Like, I can't even cover all the bleeped up news from this state on a daily basis. It would become a completely separate entity podcast. It would just be me covering North Carolina so bleeped up news. It'd be like the Jeff Foxworthy thing. Like, your state might be bleeped up if, and I cover just 10 news topics from North Carolina. And then the next day, your state might be a communist bleepo if, and then like 10 more news topics. That just shows how bleeped the state of North Carolina is. But anyway, it was somebody that was like arguing that, that's not really like that. That's not the people of the state. It is the people of the state. It is. And the people that are in the boomer and the drunk on Trump camp or whatever the cult is, they're going to say the same thing about America. It's not the American people. It's the government. It's not the people. It's the people, folks. Please feel free to slap yourself in the face, dunk yourself in some cold water, do some of that stupid polar challenge or whatever. You get a barrel and jump in some flipping ice or whatever. Please do that, because it's not just the government. It's not just the Democrats. It's not just the Republicans. Like, please try to come to earth with the humans. Yeah, I realize people are like, oh my God, you had Bill Burns, you're talking about UFOs. Yes, because UFOs are more interesting than the news of the terrestrial nature on this planet. Like, who the heck wants to cover this garbage, folks? It's stupid. And you got people still, this is what makes America fatigue so frustrating, and why it's so flipped up here, is because people will defend their slavery. Like, people will like falling all over themselves to defend being a slave. I mean, I posted something and covered how North Carolina is, of course, ahead of the curve on the drones, surveilling people on the highway and giving you tickets with drones. Like, this is already occurring in North Carolina. So we are actually the rollout for the rest of the whole country, I guess, being a flipping bleep hole. And people are like defending this, like, well, this is great because why exactly? Because you want more money for the state for victimless crimes that absolutely have nothing to do with bleep. So it's like, a friend of mine joked about this decades ago: money for the Krishna, money for the Krishna, money for the Krishna. But in this instance, it's money for the state, money for the state, money for the state. Like, they will worship the police that's going to bend them over on the highway, cavity search, and give them a ticket and take them to jail. Like, for just nonsense, folks. We're not talking about people that are trafficking children, like the people in the House and Senate. We're not talking about people that are known pedophiles, like people in the House and Senate. We're not talking about people that are like on tape, on a flipping list that is still redacted from the American public. We're not talking about those people. We're talking about the police and the military coming after the people. And people are still defending their slavery. That's what's so flipping hilarious. And that's what makes it America fatigue. That it's like exhausting to try to communicate with other supposed like hominins, genus Homo, species sapiens sapiens, that are allegedly, cranial capacity well over 1,000, but yet they cannot grasp these very simplistic concepts. It'd be like the white Russians defending the Bolsheviks and saying, we need more Bolsheviks to bleep us over and kill us. Like, that's where we're at in America. But people are hearkening to this vestigial turd and saying, we need more of this. Like, we need to get bent over more. We need a little bit more of the old in out, a la Clockwork Orange. We need a little bit more propaganda. We need a little bit more trauma-based mind control. We need to get brainwashed some more. This is what we really need. It's just mind-blowing when you really think about how flipped up it is, man. And this was something else. I just, again, it was no comment. It was just so hilarious. And this is going to be tough to keep nice. But I reposted a video the other day. I think I put it on both my social medias, the primaries. And it was a video showing contemporary Americans going to the prom. It was maybe like 20 seconds of that. And then they juxtaposed that to contemporary Russians going to their version of the same thing. I'm not going to play it for you. Find it on my social media or don't. I don't care. It's easy to understand why I said this is emblematic of why America is trash. And people are like, oh my God, it's not trash. I just see a bunch of kids having a good time. There's nothing wrong with this. Okay. That is the problem, folks. That's the problem, is that the slave class doesn't see anything wrong with this. Like, they actually look out their front door. They go run errands. They go get stuff from the store, whatever. They look out at the American, geopolitical, cultural, everything landscape in 2026, and they don't see anything wrong. Or if they do, they're so myopic and brainwashed into this right-left paradigm of stupidity that they either see the Republicans as what's wrong or the Democrats as what's wrong. Meanwhile, both sects of the society are totally bleeped. Okay? Because here's a newsflash. Here's why they're totally bleeped. Did anybody on the right get like a special pass that they don't get chemtrails sprayed on their residence? No. Did anybody on the left get a special pass that says, yo, you don't have to eat the GMO. We've got the special truck that's going to come by and feed you the clean food? No. Yeah, I mean, you can keep going down the line. Did anybody on the right or left get a special pass that they get purified water that's not like flipping Michigan, or not like the blipping mess coming down the Cape Fear River in North Carolina that's already got forever chemicals in it? That's just a known thing now. I mean, years ago, it was just hog waste. Now it's forever chemicals. It's just no big deal. Just accept it, slave. That's okay, right? But everybody's getting screwed. Man, I'm trying to not make the really crass joke that I want to make, but everybody is getting screwed. And you got people on the right and left arguing about who's doing the screwing. Like, they can't fathom that they're both, you know what I'm trying to say here? I mean, that's what's so frustrating. So yeah, there was people like legit upset that I posted something saying America is garbage. And here's the cliff notes on the video, folks. On the video, the people in the American version of the prom, they looked obese. They looked just ill-kept. And we're talking about, we're going to dress up and go dancing, allegedly, right? Right. So they had their best clothes on. They look like bleep, even in their best clothes. They had to be cool and have like bleeped up hair. They had to be cool and wear tennis shoes. They had to be cool and like whatever else is absolute stupidity that is the American culture in 2026. So they were obese. They looked like trash, even though they were dressed up. I mean, there was just this whole like goofball. Let's make a butt out of ourselves, and just, the usual suspect hip hop trash music, dancing around like they're at some kind of, I don't even know who these retarded musician people are anymore. Thank God. But fill in the blank for whoever the cool, quote unquote, hip hop artist is of the day. Like, that was the thrust of what was the American prom. Juxtapose that to the Russian version, and I know somebody's like, oh my God, you love Russia. Why don't you just move there, John? Just move to Russia. Why don't you just jump in a lake? Okay. Take a long walk off a short pier. You know what I mean? Anyway, so the Russian prom, everybody looked very well dressed. Nobody was trying to be a cornball and look cool. Everybody, the men and the women, looked very well dressed. They weren't out there to make some sort of statement. Their statement was, we look classy. The women weren't revealing anything. They looked classy. The men looked classy. they were dancing like a ballroom dance to music that actually made flipping sense. So one culture has class, the other culture has garbage. And the question is, which one do you want to be in, folks? Do you want to be a la the Norman Rockwell 1950s Americana, where there was allegedly legitimate class? Or do you want to be the 2026 version of America where everybody's just bleaked? Everybody's fat. Everybody looks like trash. Everybody's out of shape. Everybody can't do 20 push-ups. I mean, everybody's just garbage. And we're talking like, what, 18-year-old kids here? We're not talking like 80-flipping-year-old people. Everybody's listening to garbage music that promulgates trash culture, promulgates druggy, drunk, promiscuous, just garbage filth. If that's what you want, then that's what you got. But the problem is the average person looks at that and goes, oh my goodness, that's just lovely. That's just a bunch of kids having a good time. It's America fatigue, folks. At least that's what I got. Because that's not what I want. That's garbage, folks. That's total filth. I could go deeper into this. I'm just trying to be very clean on this whole thing. I really am. So what else have we got out there that is emblematic of America fatigue? What could it be, folks? Because I'm not the only one that leaves the house and just wants to throw up, right? I can't be the only one. When I see people wearing bonnets, wearing flipping pajamas, you know, wearing flip-flops and bedroom shoes, it's just out in the mess, normal mess now. And somebody's going to say, it's just the black culture that's doing that. No. It's not. Because there's a whole lot of trash crackers doing the same thing. That's the problem. There's people with ripped up jeans, flipping tank tops, you know, fat as the day is long, tattoos on their face, tattoos on their throat, the whole 9 yards, looking like some sort of, you know, satanic demon. If you threw this cat back into the 1950s, people would seriously think that person is demon possessed. And at this point, I don't even think they're wrong. That's just it, folks. I don't even think that would be an incorrect statement. I just don't. And somebody's going to say, well, you're just trying to put a spiritual spin on this. It's not spiritual. It's definitely spiritual, folks. Hate to break it to you. It's spiritual, all right. And I'm not just saying that because it's something outside of my realm of comprehension. No, folks. I mean, legitimately, take a look around. It's a great record by Sick of It All, by the way. Take a look around. Anyway, take a look around, and you will see the same thing that I see, I believe. Like, our society is flipping gone. Everybody is addicted to their little device. Everybody's addicted to at least weed. But it's usually like weed, booze, prescription, you know, drugs, and something else on the side. Like somebody getting clean now just means I just know smoking weed, drinking an ounce a day, you know, whatever it is. Like that's just normal now. That's somebody really cleaning up, boys. That's the, whoo, that guy's clean as a whistle now. My goodness. And the whoredom. Mercy. The whoredom, I tell you, the horse. And no, I ain't blaming the women nor the men by themselves because it takes two to tango, folks. It really does. And then there's the other element, the homosexual element. Homosexual element of it all. It was hilarious, folks. I can't remember the exact search terms that I put in to several of these image sites. I do know. I put American culture. And then I was flooded with Native American culture, which I guess that's not American culture, that's Native American culture. But anyway, I put that in there. And then I was also flooded by images, especially on this one site that will remain nameless, but images of lesbian couples, biracial lesbian couples. Like that was what I was flooded with when I put in the search terms American culture. So you might want to try this on your own and just see what's up. See what comes up when you put in search terms American culture. Because I got like a black chick and an Asian chick like 15 images of that. Like, and I was just like, do you not see what's happening? You should, but you won't. Because you'll whistle past the graveyard, you'll get angry at me making the obvious statement that American culture is trash, and you'll get upset and want to say it's the politicians, it's the Democrats. That's the Democrats that are trash. Well, it's not the Democrats that are taking us to war. That'd be the Republicans. In case you missed it, now we're going to put troops on the ground. Our ground forces are getting ready, says DJT. It's going to be real great. It's going to be smart. No low IQ. We're going to put ground forces in. It's going to be great. So, just in case you thought it was just going to be an aerial assault and we were going to bombard them like it's Gulf War 1, 2, 3, or the Revenge Tour. No, it's not. Different country, different strategy. I don't think there is a strategy. But yeah, we're now going to put ground troops in. And Russia's already been like, yo, if you keep effing around, we're gonna have to jump in on you. And what's most hilarious about this is we haven't heard a near word about the Ukraine. What is it, like 2 months now? We ain't heard a word about Ukraine. What happened to Ukraine? Did they fall into the Bermuda Triangle and they got whisked away into some sort of wormhole? Is that it? They got too close to CERN and they just bleeped out on the scope and they're now in a different dimension, man. Yeah, bro, they're gone. Is that what happened? No, it didn't. Like the Ukraine BS is still going on. We're just not getting the coverage of it anymore. Because now we've moved on to yet another war. Now we're in Iraq. But you don't have America fatigue yet, really? I know your feed's been flooded with these imbeciles on bicycles. The newest hip thing, man, when you're saying crash out and you're saying boomers, is you got to be doing a wheelie on your bike, man. Like a long wheelie, like forever, bro. Inhale your weed or your little vape pen of marijuana and do a wheelie on your bike, bro. And the best part is, man, you're going to come as close to people as you can. And you're going to swerve at the last second. Yeah, that's apparently the new thing. Well, actually, like the new thing is just doing asinine. We're going to take over this intersection with our cars and our ATVs. We got our four-wheelers out there in the middle of Charlotte, and we're going to run around in circles. Lord have mercy. Thankful to God I am not somehow the king of anything, because it'd be a bad day. It'd be a really bad day. But that's also emblematic of the America fatigue. You've got imbeciles running as close as possible to people on bicycles or whatever these electric bikes are now. Man, these people should be Russian sickled like Nikita Koloff through that mug off that bike. At the very, very least. But you can't, man, because they're the protected class, John. That's more America fatigue. More America fatigue would be that in any store you go to now, basically, was it like 9/10 of the store is behind some sort of plastic case? I'd like some deodorant. Well, you're going to have to wait. I don't even deal with that because I make my own deodorant because I don't want to, get Alzheimer's from the actual deodorant. But anyway, if you're dumb enough to use real deodorant and you go to the store, man, you're going to have to get a attendant, I guess, to come open the plastic case for you. That is until everyone is replaced with AI bots. And everyone's hoping their social credit score is high enough that they can actually get enough guaranteed living wage to eke out a little existence here and there. Oh, man. So, yeah, more just America fatigue for you. I mean, we've already covered the obvious, the people that just look like abject creatures from some sort of alternate world. I really do think, I think a lot of these people have really got not just mental problems, but they have actually fallen under the possession of something dark. Something very dark, folks. I do believe it's true. It's either that or it's just all mental illness, you know? That is a whole nother ball of wax. It's all mental illness now. Because if you don't have a mental illness, if you look hard enough, you're going to find one. Looking at DSM from the psychology, and you're going to find a mental illness that suits you, and you will be able to go to the doctor and get some meds too. You can get some of them lovely serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Maybe you can do some killing. Maybe you can kill yourself and other people too. And don't worry, they'll blame it on them. They won't blame it on the medicine. They'll blame it on the culture. They'll say, he watched too many bad movies. I used to think that was just total garbage, you know? I used to think, it was a big stink over the album covers of the metal bands in the 80s. Oh, my gracious. It's Seventh Son of the Seventh Son by Iron Maiden. Oh, Lord, he's holding some sort of organ there. It's downright gross. And then you kick the can down the road and it was Mortal Kombat. Oh, it was too scary for the children. Por los niños. It was all por los niños. Now it's not for anything. Now it's just like, screw it. Then after that, it was Grand Theft Auto. And keep in mind, I didn't play any of this because I thought it was all low IQ even back then. But then it was Grand Theft Auto. I'd sit around and watch some of my friends play that from time to time. I was like, oh, this is crazy. But now nobody gives a bleep, man. Now it's not por los niños. It's only por los niños if they're into chopping off their wee-wee. Or if they're into ripping some of their forearm off and sewing it onto their... Yeah. That's the only time now that it's actually por los niños. That's it. It's no protecting the kids. It's not... I learned it from watching you. You know, this is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Now it's like, you need to take more drugs. Yeah, you should be taking the illegal drugs at the bare minimum because that's cool. That's hip and trendy. And you all need to get on your THC vibe, man. It's totally cool, bro. But in addition to that, you need to be on some Ritalin and some other SSRIs because you probably have anxiety. I don't know why, because our whole society is just so great, man. It's awesome. It's great, right? Why would the kids have any problems? Maybe because every single front they are bombarded with the LGBT element or not so silent P. They're bombarded with the normalization, legitimization, and legalization of all drugs. Take a drive downtown in Kensington over there in Philly. You're gonna see all kinds of freakazoids out there, man. You're gonna see some stuff that looks like Night of the Living Dead. Was a G-rated movie because there's some scary things out there, folks. But it's all just normal, right? And that's not emblematic of the people. It's the government. It's the Democrats. It's the people, folks. Hate to break it to you. It's the flipping people. And here's my last volley over the nets for it's the people. Because you've got most of the general populace, the people, they actually believe in this two-party duopoly system that's running everything. No, I'm not going to say it. They're running stuff into the ground. So the vast majority of the general public's like, we're gonna lose the midterms if we don't vote for Republicans, and then the communist trash are, we better vote for communists or we're gonna, it's so stupid, folks. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Hey, communist trash, check this out. When it was Barry Soetoro and when it was Biden, did any of the chemtrails stop? Did the GMO stop? Did your water stop being polluted? Did you stop giving away, over half your income to the state, the feds? No. Hey, Republican jackwagons, same question. You've got Trump now for second term. You still getting GMO? You still getting chemtrail? Is your water still toxic? You're still paying outlandish gas prices. You're still now going into yet another foreign war. Yeah. But you're going to keep on keeping on because that's all you know how to do, right? That's all you know how to do is right, left, right, left. That's all you know how to do is worry about the next selection. It's the same sort of stupid sports mentality when your team loses. We'll get them next year, I tell you. Our roster's going to be stacked and we're going to go in there and yeah. But you're not. You're not, folks. It's not going to happen. You're going to kick the can down the road. You're going to drive the flipping robot car that spies on you until it rolls your butt into the Soylent Green facility and you are dead. You're going to keep letting your kids get poisoned. You're going to keep putting them in the public school, K through 12 indoctrination, college, university weaponization until they get put in one of those little death pods because they decided to off themselves and you don't have boo to say about it. They're going to be flipping dead. It's going to work on the right and on the left and everywhere in between. And the borders are still open, folks. I mean, legally open. H-1B visas, folks. Did you miss that? The fastest growing religion in every single state ain't Christianity. 9 times out of 10 is Islam. And if it ain't Islam, it's Hinduism. So if you thought we were a Christian nation, think again. I know over 100 years ago, the Supreme Court said so, but it just ain't the facts, Jack. It's not the truth. It's like if your mom and dad always told you were their kid and turns out you were adopted. You can pretend that they're your mom and dad all you want, but it just ain't the truth. So stop selling yourself lies, folks. That old Gadget song you tell yourself at night to make you feel better because you know you're not a sellout and you know you're not a quitter. These are the kind of stories that you tell yourself. You tell yourself at night the kind of stories to make you feel all right. But at the end of the day, folks, it's America fatigue. I think the vast majority of the general public, whether they want to admit it or not, has American fatigue. They have had it with the political landscape. They've had it with Donald John Trump. They've had it with the Democrat crap. They've had it with the Republican garbage. They've had it hearing about how so-and-so is going to pull their biscuits out of the fire and save them because it just ain't going to happen. They've had it with a PC mess. They've had it with the over-the-top conservative mess. They have flipping had it, folks. That's my take on it anyway. I look at and listen to a lot of old stuff from time to time because old stuff's always better than new stuff. And it takes me back to the second election of Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton when he was running for a second term. And I heard this all over the media landscape at that time. I've referenced this many times. Listening to some old Art Bell talking about the political landscape and Bill Clinton. And nobody wanted that scumbag in. But nobody wanted the Republican either. So it was a crossroads. It was a quandary. It was a Mexican standoff. Everybody was going to lose. Lesser of two evils all over again, folks. That's where we're at again. Over 25 years later, we're still right there, folks. So I'm not calling for any violence. I'm not calling for any revolutionary actions. But we are on the precipice of our alleged 250th anniversary of the 4th of July. And the vast majority of the general public, I guess, has no inkling of what that was actually about. They think it was a bunch of people just sitting in a drum circle singing Kumbaya and holding hands. That's what it was. It was just holding hands in a drum circle. And George Washington did a little dance. He took out his ivory teeth. And King George just fell over and said, "Oh, lass, take your people, take the colonies. I'm just going to go back to England." Well, he never came to America, but you know what I mean. People, I guess, really do believe the hype. That's what they believe happened. That's what's up. That's the bull jive that they believe, you know. And I don't understand what it's going to take for the American people to get off their duff and do anything. My bias here is they can't do anything. They won't do anything. They can't do anything. It ain't happening, folks. Please. But you would think after just decades and decades of just lies, rubbing your nose in the brown stuff, just greatest ally over everybody else, your air, food, water, soil, Everything's toxic. Your car's about to get taken over. You ain't even going to be able to buy or sell without this flipping chip they're about to roll out on you. It's everything you ever learned from every dystopian book and movie and television show and miniseries and made-for-TV movie. It's all that and more. But the average person just does not seem to give a flip. And that is more America fatigue. Whew. All right. I've gone a little bit over my time, but not by much. And I'm going to end it on this high note of saying you can't do everything. Nobody expects you to. But you can do something. Something. Un poco. Just a little bit. Just a little just a little something. At this point in the game, it really just boils down to covering your own rear, taking care of yourself, número uno, y la familia, segundo. Take care of yourself first and your family too. That's all you can do at this point. Wait for the drones and the Ravage and the laser beaks and the Soylent Green trucks and the whole 9 yards. Just wait for that to pop off at this juncture. That's about all you can do. If you want to do something dumb in a couple months and just pull a lever and a flipping in a booth, fine. It's about as useless as, I don't know, as useless as walking down I-40 blindfolded. But I mean, sure, if that's what you want to do, that's all you. You can't do everything, but you can do something. Get out there, do your part, make a difference. I'll be seeing you sooner or later in the anomic age.
Thank you for listening to The Anomic Age, a John Age project. For past shows, further info, and to comment, go to anomicage.com. That's ANOMICAGE.com. Till next time, thank you for listening to The Anomic Age.